YouTube. So today I'm doing a long overdue video, and it is my bookshelf tour. I feel like this is a video that every booktuber does, so it's finally time for mine. I'm not going to be doing the bookshelf tour where you take out every single book and read the title and tell the author, because one, I don't want to watch that, and two, I don't want to edit that. So I'm just going to be kind of going over how I organize all my books and telling you a few highlights that are on my shelves. Most of my shelves are right here. I do have one more shelf that has some other books on it. So I don't have like a ton of books. All of these shelves are not completely full, but I think that's okay. This is just what I've got right now. It's not gonna be super impressive, and I don't have walls of books, but you know, that's fine. These are just the books that I have. Honestly, I've read, I think, probably at least half of my books, so I'm doing pretty good on the read to unread ratio, so that's great. So without further ado, let's just go. Okay, so this is my first shelf, and it's like my Harry Potter shelf. It has all of my Harry Potter related stuff on it. At the top, I've got a very outdated light box and some other knickknacks. This first shelf is my main Harry Potter series, all of my original hardbacks and kind of the continuations of the series. I have my Harry Potter Funko Pops. I used to have a lot more, but I got rid of all of them because I didn't want any more Funko Pops. So some special highlights on here. I have the Quidditch Through the Ages and Fantastic Beasts, the original copies of these. I thought I lost them many years ago. I'm very happy that I have them. Then I have this Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone pop-up book. I've had this forever, and it's so cool. It's just like a fun little pop-up book of the first book. It's not very long, but it's really cool. It's got a lot of moving parts, and just like, I love this pre-movie merch. It's super awesome. I also have books 3 and 6 in Japanese. You may notice that book 6, Half-Blood Prince, is 2 volumes, and that's because everything after the third book in Japanese is at least 2 volumes. They would be really big books, and I think these are a little bit, they're like harder, I guess, for people to read, or it's just like they would be really, really long. It has something to do with maybe how Japanese is written or something like that, but they're just like, they would be a lot longer than the English versions. So yeah, I found these in a used bookstore in Japan. They were about 200 yen each, so it's about $2. The whole series was there in hardcover, but I could only afford to bring back, like, I could probably have bought all of them, but I had to take them all the way back from Tokyo to Osaka, and then back from Osaka to the US, so that was gonna be a lot. On the second shelf, I have the rest of my editions. I have the new paperbacks that form the Hogwarts castle. I have the British children's paperback version, for only the first 4. I got these in a box set after the 4th one came out. My dad brought them back from a business trip for me. And then just some other Harry Potter related books, plus my Fantastic Beast pops. And then down on the bottom in this terrible footage, I have this beautiful Harry Potter page to screen book, which is all about the making of the movies, a Pygmy Puff, an owl, and then the other books that J.K. Rowling has written. And then I have this lovely Harry Potter scrapbook that I've made. It's got things like my book tickets and newspaper articles, and you can see I was third in line there, so that's great. But most notably, it's got stuff from when I went to the premiere for the last movie in New York City, and my receipts from the books that I bought at midnight and the time where it says exactly midnight. And then most notably in this book are autographs from several of the cast members. I've got Tom Felton there. I've also got Emma Watson's, which is cool. And I've also got Alan Rickman's, which is really, really awesome. Up here I have my floating bookshelves. So these are just kind of where I want to display kind of special books that will either look good or they just have some sort of like meaning, or I can group them all together. I have my Rainbow Rowell books here in the middle. She is my favorite. I've got some Unicornos on top of that. And then over here, I've got my Hunger Games books. These were really important for me to like getting back into reading and YouTube and BookTube and stuff. And I've got Katniss and PETA up there as Funko Pops too. And then I have my John Green books. John Green also really integral to me getting back into reading as an adult and getting into YouTube and everything like that. And I've got my Dan and Phil plushies on top. So it's kind of my YouTube stack. So then on to my main bookshelves. So on the top shelf here, I've got kind of middle grade or children's literature. Some Shel Silverstein up there, and then I've got my Lost Years of Merlin series, which is one of my favorite series as a child. The Dark is Rising, of course, my eternal love. And then I also have this like Voltron Bayard that I made for my Keith cosplay that I'm very, very proud of, so I have that on display. And of course more Dan and Phil. Down here I have my, what I call my contemporary shelf. This is just kind of contemporary romance things. I've got some Gundam Seed Destiny figures, some Unicornos, of course you'll see a lot of those. My Face Out books, I've got We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. This was my favorite book in 2017, I believe. It destroyed me. I love it, so that's why that's on display. And then I also have The Sun Is Also a Star on display because that book is just absolutely beautiful and I love it so much. Next I have this other shelf which is sort of like YA fantasy, I guess. And then I kind of just keep a pile of the things that I have read recently on here. There's really no sort of rhyme or reason to that. And then there's a Sylveon and a fake cactus. I have this sort of classic / adult literature section. I've got some Pikachu, some more Unicornos, and then there's like an Owlcrate print there also. As for my Face Out books here, I have The Count of Monte Cristo, which is like my favorite classic, and then I also have the Once and Future King by T.H. White. I'm very interested in Arthurian legend, and I haven't finished it. Then I've got some Japanese literature here. I've got I Am a Cat by Natsume Soseki and The Tale of Genji. I Am a Cat I got for a very fangirly reason. I don't know if I'm ready to tell the world the reason I bought that book. So that's probably a story for another time. Then down here I have kind of non-fiction and textbooks. I have sort of self-help and memoirs down here, some Pokemon, Animal Crossing, and then I've got Japanese language textbooks and some other books that are about Japan, travel books, and things like that. This book here, Japan America, I got this book in high school, and then just in college, in one of my classes, we read an article from this book, so that was like really cool. I was like, oh hey, I actually have that book. Down here is more textbooks about like East Asian religions and Japanese history. I had a minor in Japanese language and culture in college, so that's why I have so many textbooks on Japan. And then the rest of the shelf is sort of just like Pokemon and other things, and all of these plushies I got in the Pokemon store in Osaka, so that's nice. This top shelf doesn't have a lot on it. It's got my signed photo with Matthew Lewis, which I got at a convention, which is great. I also have my Star vs. the Forces of Evil pop, and then some, I guess, adult literature classic things. An Absolutely Remarkable Thing was my favorite book last year. Here I have YA fantasy and adult fantasy kind of mixed together. I've got all of my Victoria Schwab books here. Most of these actually are signed. I believe Vengeful is signed, Vicious is signed, Darker Shade of Magic is signed, and this Savage Song is also signed, so that's really cool. I've got this Kokeshi doll here, which is really cute. My dad's friend from work got that for me, so that's super cute.
This shelf here is what I call the Marissa Meyer and Sarah J. Maas shelf because that's pretty much all that's on this shelf. I really like the Lunar Chronicles, so I've got all of those, and then just Sarah J. Maas books take up forever. I've also got my Six of Crows books there too. I've got more Unicornos and this mug that says the book is better with some Harry Potter glasses in it, and then a print I got from an Owl Crate. And now we start the manga section, or manga. This is mostly my Clamp manga. Clamp is my favorite artist group, I guess, manga artists, so I have a lot of their stuff. Cardcaptor Sakura is my favorite. I have got their clear card arc in Japanese, which is really cool. The only one on here that isn't Clamp is Honey Hunt. And then the things on here, some Full Metal Alchemist, and then these Digimon ones, the Agumon and the Terriermon, they are actually from Taco Bell from years ago, so that's really cool. Next I have the rest of my manga and graphic novels, the Hanakimi, the Prince of Tennis, some Scott Pilgrim. I also have all my Adventure Time pops here because it kind of goes with the theme of like graphic novels and such. And then these are most of my graphic novels. And then down here, I have my camera bag, and then the rest of my graphic novels and comics. This all looks very bad, I'm so sorry. So this is more like superhero stuff. I've got a bunch of X-Men here, and some like loose comic or single issue comics. I've also got things like Lumberjanes down here, and I have a few single issues, and I've also got this signed copy of issue number 1, I believe. This is signed by Noelle Stevenson. One of my friends got this for me at a convention, so I'm very, very grateful that I have this signed copy of, like, I guess this is not number 1. This looks like it's number 5.
I hope you enjoyed my bookshelf tour. If you have any questions about my organization method or any of the books that are on my shelf, let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more bookish and nerdy content from me. That's all I've got for you guys today. I'm Christy Lou. Till next time, matane!